Gye-Nyame man. I was born for greatness. My greatness comes from my potent sinner. I pledge to find and connect with my sinner. I pledge to build my spirit, mind, and body. I pledge to use my hands to build a better world for myself, my loved ones, and my community. I pledge to use my mind to think deeper, further, and higher to create a better reality for myself. I pledge to live my life and go beyond all my self-imposed limitations. I pledge to promote the principles of the Gye-Nyame warrior and to assist all those seeking the path of success. I pledge all these things first to myself, my teachers, to all my relations, and to my higher power. I am Gye-Nyame. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. That is the Gye-Nyame pledge that is said by all of our true members at least once a day. Peace and welcome to our YouTube channel. Check out our videos and podcasts. Subscribe as well as join the journey. Push past your self-imposed limitations within the Gye-Nyame journey. Peace. Alright, I want to welcome y'all. Yo, this is Brother High Tim. I don't know what's going on with my system. I went out and I did something with Brother Shanty Dons, and my everything ain't been working right since, man. I don't know what's going on, man. But hey, I'm doing it the best I can. Hopefully I can take calls. For those that want to join the conference call, hit me up at 614-556-4535. Of course, you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I am your host, Brother High Tim, and you are now listening to folk tales for grown folks. And this is a Heart of a Simple production, where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Hey, I'm sitting up here experimenting, right? I got this wild berry ambrosia. I don't know if I'm gonna bring it out. I'm still experimenting with it, and I'm trying to let it. I swear I'm trying to let it ferment, but this. Oh my God! Oh, and I'm only working with 50% of the honey that I'm supposed to have in there, so I can't wait for the next batch to come. I'm gonna mix it up. It's nice and red, full of those polyphenols. You know what I'm saying? Your body needs them, you know. And, because, we big on gut health over here at Gye-Nyame Journey, trying to get that gut together, because there's a correlation between gut health and a lot of diseases that are running rapid through our community. Diabetes, kidneys, bad skin, bad memory, bad moods, stinky breath. You know what I'm saying? There's a correlation. Let's work it out. So, we got a product here that may be able to help you with some of those things. Now, when you get to the journey always gives back. That's right. Hey, I'm going to try to let this stuff ferment, I swear. But it's so hard. It's so hard. So, of course, this show is brought to you by G&J's, that ambrosia, right? By supporting the journey, G&J will provide you with your gift, right? The gift is some of this lovely ambrosia. And it will lighten your mood, and for some cases lighten your body. You know what I'm saying? Because it runs through you, and it helps you get rid of some stuff. Look up kombucha, see what kombucha do, and let's see how we could work. All right. All right. So, on to the news before we get into tonight's show, which is titled The Apes and the Two Travelers. This is a show about truth and how and when you might need to consider telling it, because some of us have been sold a bad product, and there's a bad product about being honest all the time. Now, although we know there are times where we should tell the truth, there are times also where we put ourselves at risk by telling the truth, by telling it all. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at the story and see what Aesop was trying to tell us. And also, for those that want to join the conversation, hit me up at 614-556-4535. The lines are open. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I'm trying to see what's going on. I didn't connect. Maybe that's what it is. All right, let's say we connected. Everything looking good. If not, me and Shanty Don's gonna have it out, because I had everything working. I don't know what's going on, but hey, now, so let's get to some of this news that's popping up on the timeline. Oh, before we get to the news, let's do this real quick.
The word is spreading. More and more people are switching to Ambit Energy.
Well, one of my neighbors switched, and then I switched. Now the whole neighborhood has Ambit.
Who doesn't want to save money?
The word is spreading. Switching to Ambit Energy is rewarding in more ways than one.
I signed up and got a travel reward. That's nice.
Oh, I get to save on energy and on travel?
There's a cruise for two out there just a few thousand kilowatts away. I can almost smell the sunscreen.
The word is spreading. Ambit Energy even lets you earn free energy.
When I get 15 friends to switch, I get free energy. I have 15 friends. At least I think I do.
Hey, I'd be telling people to switch to Ambit anyway.
If you'd like to switch to Ambit Energy, listen to the following contact information closely. Then spread the word.
All right. Gye-Nyame Journey is a private consultant of Ambit Energy. Like I tell y'all every week, You can help the journey by allowing us to serve you and provide you with your electricity and your gas. You can also become part of Ambit Energy as a consultant yourself and sell energy as well. And I keep stressing the point that energy is a necessity. And as a people, we have to start getting into the necessity business. We want to build a culture. A culture is able to provide people with the necessities, right? Now, the beautiful thing about Ambit that attracted to me is the free energy. And when you go to Gye-Nyame Journey, when you go to Facebook and you go to G&J Energy, you see the sign up button. You click the sign up button, it will take you over to our rates and plans page. On the rates and plans page, all you gotta do is type in your zip code and fill out the rest of the information. You're not signing up for anything, but it just lets you know how much you can save, how much you'll be paying. We are able to provide energy for people in California, Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Texas, Virginia, and Washington, D.C., right? Gas and electric. Now, the reason I like Ambit is because you get free energy. Learn how enrolling 15 new customers with Ambit can reduce your energy costs by 100%. Yep, it provides you with free energy. And then you also receive travel points every time you pay your bill. Now, I don't know what else I got to do to convince you, you know what I'm saying, to at least give it a try. And on top of that, we provide energy, but we don't give you a contract. You're not locked into a contract. You could cancel. You can get with Ambit this month and decide you don't like it no more next month and switch back to the company that you had before. So what do you got to lose? You know what I'm saying? Go on and support the journey with a couple of extra pennies a month. You know what I'm saying? And every time you pay your bill, you know you're involved in some nation building activity. Now, let's get to the news. Sasha, I need you to go somewhere. Please. Alright. So, as y'all know, Gina doing her homework, you know, and they always want to be around when I'm doing my show. So, I got to kind of give them hints. So let's look at some of this news. I was reading an article, and it says, this is from news.com.au. They say, North Pole melting rate, in 2 years, the Arctic could be completely gone. So that, you know, that's a prediction. They're saying that the Arctic can be completely gone in less than 2 years. So, you know, I think we might need to be concerned about that, you know. But hey, I don't know. You know, Trump is in office, so he's going to solve all problems. He's going to make nature a deal. You know what I'm saying? He's going to make a deal. The Great Pumpkin going to make a deal with nature, right? All right. Medical Express. This is medicalexpress.com. Medical Express. Researchers suggest increased instances of C-sections are causing evolutionary changes in human beings. Yeah, okay. All right. After this, I'll share that. Congress has reached a deal to send $170 million to Flint. This is from motherboard.vice.com. So Congress has finally decided to help those people that are American citizens who are not able to drink their water. They're finally going to go on to send 170. Oh, they so nice. Congress, you know, I know some of them was blocking and hating, you know, but it is what it is. Of course, I'm going to send shots out to DJ Dale for Chadbourne for putting some more nice pictures up on our timeline. For those that don't know, I read the news straight from our Facebook page on Gye-Nyame Journey, Facebook.com, Gye-Nyame Journey, all right? Cannabis use spikes 70% among Americans aged 50 and above. Now, I'm just going to say, I don't think it is spiked. I think they were smoking all the time, but it's just now become politically correct for them to admit that they're smoking, right? It ain't spiking. It's the fact that they were smoking all the time, all right? Okay. Will the world end this month? News, cdn.news rep.net. Will the world end this month? Computer programmer claims Jesus will return to destroy the planet in latest bizarre claim. I'm not even going to read it. The question I ask is, how many end-of-the-world prophecies have you lived through? I made it through all. I made it for the last 30 years. I've been making it through end-of-the-world claims. So I don't even, you know what I'm saying? I don't even deal with it. Now, on my timeline, I had this thing, this video by The Boys, BYOS. It's cold, you know. They play drums, and I'm talking about like marching drums. And these boys' style is just ridiculous, right? So go and check them out. And of course, check out my interview that I had on Sunday with Chatty Dons. You know what I'm saying? So check them out. Nice show. Did a real good job. Boom, boom, boom. I also put something on there about Candida. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people in our community is suffering from Candida, don't even know it. Some of y'all with them pot bellies, y'all got a bunch of bad bacteria and yeast running around in you. You need to get some healthy bacteria and yeast in you. You know, a lot of journey to help you do that. You know what I'm saying? Find out how to fight that. Beware Candida. You may have it and not know it. That ambrosia may assist you in dealing with it as well as help you prevent it by adding your body by reintroducing healthy yeast and bacteria to your gut. I am finding that many people around me are suffering needlessly because they are not taking care of their gut. Get your G&J, that ambrosia, and feed your body some reinforcement. All right. So now, let's get to the story, because it don't look like we're going to have any callers calling in. All right. This is the Townsend version. And it says, two men, one who always spoke the truth and the other who told nothing but lies, were traveling together and by chance came to the land of apes. One of the apes, who had raised himself to be king, commanded them to be seized and brought before him, that he might know what was said of him among men. He ordered at the same time that all the apes be arranged in a long row on his right hand and on his left, and that the throne be placed for him, as was the custom among men. After these preparations, he signified that the two men should be brought before him, and greeted them with this salutation. What sort of king do I seem to you to be, O strangers? The lying traveler replied, You seem to me a most mighty king. You seem to me a most mighty king. And what is your estimate of those you see around me? These, he made answer, are worthy companions of yourself, fit at least to be ambassadors and leaders of armies. The truthful traveler, the ape and all his court, gratified with the lie, commanded that a handsome present be given to the flatterer. On this, the truthful traveler thought to himself, if so great a reward be given for a lie, with what gift may not I be rewarded, if according to my custom I tell the truth? The ape quickly turned to him and prayed, How do I and these friends around me seem to you? Thou art, he said, a most excellent ape, and all these thy companions, after their examples, are excellent apes too. The king of the apes, enraged at hearing these truths, gave him over to the teeth and claws of his companions. All right, first things first. Let's talk about this, man. Now, in the introduction, when those that read this, I said, when surrounded by beasts, be careful what you say. Now, and I only just said beast, I said delusional beast. Because the first thing I want you to notice is that these apes were not trying to be apes. These apes were trying to be men. These apes were delusional. You know what I'm saying? Delusional, strong, and powerful. These men were outnumbered. And these apes were looking to be recognized as men. They said as men. They acted as men. And the king, above all of them, wanted to be recognized as a king and as kingly as a man. But of course we know that an ape is not a man. An ape can't be as kingly as a man, acting as a man, because he's only pretending, right? So, you have two men. You have one who tells nothing but lies and the other that tells nothing but the truth. And the liar told the apes exactly what they wanted to hear. Why did he do this? I know because some of y'all probably conflicted. What would I do? I probably would have been like the truthful man. I would have told the truth. In a situation when you are surrounded by delusional beasts, it is very unwise for you to tell the beast the truth, because it gets you nothing. Or my fault, it does get you something. It gets you the prize of the truth teller. The truthful man forgot that his custom of telling the truth is not everybody's custom. And the truth of the matter was that he's surrounded by a bunch of apes that's trying to act as men. He's surrounded by a bunch of dangerous, bloodthirsty animals. And he thought that they would reward him for his truth when they didn't want to hear his truth. And they already had demonstrated that they did not want to hear his truth. They did not want to hear the truth about them being apes. They only wanted to hear that they were worthy as any manly king on the planet. Now, first off, when you are surrounded by beasts that are pretending to be something that they are not, allow them to pretend, especially if you are in a position that these two men was in, because it was just these two men. We didn't hear about two men in the army. We didn't hear about these two men in the Navy. We didn't hear about this two men in the Air Force. No, we heard about these two men surrounded by apes. And not just any type of ape. We're talking about delusional apes, right? And I know some of y'all are like, well, what does this have to do with modern times? Well, actually, especially for my young black men that's out there listening, when you get pulled up on by police, in a lot of cases, you are being pulled up upon by an irrational, delusional beast. And he wants to hear his truth. He don't want to hear your truth. He don't want to hear that he pulled you over for the wrong reasons and unjust reasons. He don't want to hear that he's shaking you down unjustly. He don't want to hear none of that. You know why? Because if he hears that, more than likely, he is going to throw you to his partner beast. And they are going to tear you to pieces with their teeth. Right? Some of you are in positions where you are surrounded by delusional beasts. Delusional. They think they're doing the right thing. They have convinced themselves. Because these apes convinced themselves that they were something that they were not. And this man thought that by him telling the truth, he would automatically be saluted by them, not realizing that they were trying to be something that they're not. As black men, as black people, we're surrounded by our own people who are trying to be something that they are not. And many times they are in a position to either reward you or to throw you to the fangs of their compatriots. Right? Right? And some of y'all stand up on truth. Right? But there is a such thing as a wisdom. I heard somewhere where they say be as wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. Right? It does not always pay to tell people the hard truth, because everybody don't want to hear that, especially when you're living in a world of hypocrisy. A lot of people don't want to hear that truth. And when you are not able to back that truth up, right? Don't expect no angels or no higher powers to roll in while you getting your ass beat, while you're being chewed up, right? When you are in a disadvantage, when you are in a position of weakness, when you are in a position where somebody has power over you, right? It does not pay for you to expose the hypocrisy. It does not pay for you to put the mirror up for them so that they could see themselves. Unless you have some type of support, unless you have some type of agenda, unless you have some type of escape plan, right? Because I have been surrounded by people who say, I'm going to tell them about themselves. You know what I'm saying? And you know, telling people about themselves is going to, especially, it's going to put you in, a tough spot, right? So, sometimes you got to be wise. Actually, all the time you need to be wise. And you need to know who to tell the truth with. Because, listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Y'all need to really think about this, right? You look into certain cultures, right? The dishonesty clause, the truth clause, does not operate outside those cultures. They can tell you anything. I mean, I've been into shops. I want y'all to think about this. In black neighborhoods, you'll go into a shop that's run by a Muslim and they'll be selling pork. Let me say that again. I've been in the black community, and you go into a shop that's owned by a Muslim from another country, right? An Arab, and he will be selling pork to black folks, even though pork is against his religion. It's against his religion for him to deal with it with his. But when it comes to you, it's different. See, as black people, we haven't decided what our culture is. We haven't decided who we are, right? So we think that everybody is dealing above board with us, when in fact everybody is not dealing above board with us. Everybody, the rules that apply to the in crowd does not apply to you. So a politician could come to you and lie to you because there's no consequences, but he don't belong to you. He don't ever have to see you again or your group until it's time for more votes. And they'll come back and they'll give you some more lies. But you're not part of their crowd. You're not part of their true constituency, right? America is layered, just like these folk tales. It's layered. And you need to know what layer you're dealing with when it comes to your life. When it comes to politics, when it comes to economics, what layer are you dealing with? There's certain truths. Like, for example, I mean, in all these religions, I want you to think about this. In Islam, in Judaism, they talk about how it's wrong to charge interest. I got a question. Could black folks be behind because we might be the major group paying interest? So when a Jew loans money to another Jew, is he charging interest? When an Arab loans money to another Arab, is he charging interest? Because according to their scriptures, that's not what they're supposed to be doing. But they can do that to outsiders, to non-believers, to the uncircumcised, to the Gentiles, as they used to call you back in the day, for those of you that want to be biblical. See, cultures surround people with a protection that makes it possible for them to survive as a group. And we have not covered ourselves with the blanket of our culture. We have not etched it out yet, because we got all these conflict. And because, like, for example, if you look at as all the different tribal groups that we may have came from, and all the different mixtures of black folks, we have not decided on which one we're going to, in a sense, stick to, or which combination we're going to stick to, right? As Gye-Nyame, like that's why a lot of our leaders talk about join organizations, because in those organizations you start forming little cultures, and eventually one will take off and one will grow, and other people will start plugging into culture. They might not necessarily join that organization, but they will embrace the culture of that organization if they see it working. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to do with Gye-Nyame. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is we have to develop a culture that puts us first. Unapologetically. As black folks, we have to develop a culture that puts us first. And does not mean, this does not mean that we exclude. It does mean we exclude, but it does not mean that we place ourselves above others. But it does mean that we do handle our business first. It do mean that we handle our politics first. It does mean that we put our communities first. And there's absolutely, positively nothing wrong with that. Actually, that's when we're going to start getting more respect in the world. That's when we're going to start getting a footing in the world. Right? We're running around telling the truth to vicious beasts. Delusional vicious beasts. They're tearing us up. We're pointing out their hypocrisies. You know what I'm saying? You don't think it, you know what I mean? Just think about America. Think about the hypocrisy of the country that we live in. We're going to be the ones to tell them the truth. We're the ones that reveal the truth to them all the time. What happens to the revealer of the truth to delusional beast? Some of y'all want to confront people that done you wrong in your life. Delusional beast. Make sure you got backing. Right? We need to build up our back. We need to start getting our veterans in our communities together. We need to start training. You know what I'm saying? Because a culture has to be able to be protected. A culture cannot survive and thrive with outsiders protect. Nobody will protect your thing more than you. Nor should they. Right? You know what I'm saying? Somebody could break down my door right now, and I could sit here and be like, oh, I'm being about peace. And they could run through and take all my shit. Police ain't gonna do nothing unless they right there. It's my responsibility to protect this home. And men, it's our responsibility to protect our culture. And when we start seeing things going wrong within the culture, and let me say this, I heard this the other day. They said a nation never dies from murder. It dies from suicide. We're killing ourselves by not embracing our culture. We're opening the gates of the fortress of our fortress, and we have allowed everybody in, and they're ransacking it. And they're telling us that they're helping us, but they're ransacking our villages, they're ransacking our cities, they're ransacking our very lives, they're ransacking our children. And we believe that they're doing it for our good. I'm not telling you to be upset with nobody. I'm saying, look, we need to start turning some of the focus from outside of us to inside of us. Because this is what I learned by brewing this ambrosia. Hold on, let me take a sip. Whenever I put some new tea with new yeast in it, possible bacteria, that SCOBY drops down on there. And that SCOBY isolates. It isolates the batch that I have. So if I got a 5 gallon bucket, right? And I have tea and honey, and it has this new yeast in it. When I drop my SCOBY in there, my SCOBY first
seals off and declare its territory. And the yeast that it can use and the bacteria that can be used is sucked into the SCOBY. It becomes part of the SCOBY. Those that cannot die because they can't survive in an environment. As a culture, there is not supposed to be outsiders that are able to survive within the culture. They shouldn't be permitted. And I know a lot of y'all talking about that's isolationist thinking. But really, isn't that what America does? Isn't that what they're screaming about right now? Make America great again. Go back to the old days. We just don't let everybody in America. Isn't that what China does? Isn't that what Japan does? Right? Isn't that what Italy does? France? We the only place, black folks are the only people all over the world that just have an open thing for everybody. Even in Africa, they've been colonized. They use another culture's government structure to run their shit. So my question is it really theirs? This is why I say we don't have communities. Is it really ours? Not when the outside businesses come in and take the money out. I keep on telling you, that money is the blood of the community. And when we see it leaving, that's the same thing as watching blood just gush out your body. The culture seals this area, seals the minds, so that cause now I'm an outsider to my SCOBY, but my SCOBY, we have a symbiotic relationship. My SCOBY relies on me to provide it with what it needs to survive. And my SCOBY in turn, after it gets done doing what it does, trades with me. I take the transformed tea and honey out, and then I replace it with some more tea and honey so that this culture can survive. So what I take out, I have to replace. If I don't replace it, my SCOBY will eventually die. Right? There has to be a fair trade there. Black folks, we the SCOBY. We have allowed people to come in and take the substance that we have created, our very souls, taking them out. And right now, we see the disintegration of our community. We see the SCOBY of our people dying. Chasing illusions, chasing dreams. Talking about being honest to everybody. Being truthful. But we're being truthful to everybody but ourselves. Actually, the person that was telling the truth to the apes wasn't really being truthful. He was being truthful to the apes, but was he being truthful to himself? If I do what I do according to my customs, I wonder what reward I will get. Ooh, they want to hear the truth. But the fact of the matter is, child molester don't want to know that he's a child molester. A rapist don't want to know that he's a rapist. A murderer in most cases don't want to be confronted by the fact and by the truth that he's a murderer. And in fact, they will inflict these very things that they are doing upon you if you dare to reveal the truth to them. So, this has been Brother Hot Tim. I forgot to ring the bell. Class is over. I love y'all, but y'all got to get out of my class. I don't know where you're going to go, but you got to get out of here. This is Brother Hot Tim. I love every last one of you that take the time to listen and download my shows. I want to send shouts out to all the cities and all the countries where I am listening to. And I want to remind you, support the journey. And when you support the journey supports you. Now, if you live out the country or live out of the state of Ohio, outside of 2 hours away from me, because I can probably get it to you if you're 2 hours away from me. You know what I'm saying? I got you. But if you outside of 2 hours away from me, you need to pay for shipping and handling. This is Brother Hot Tim saying peace as I sip on my G&J. Wild berry ambrosia. I don't know if I'm gonna sell this. I don't know if I'm gonna get this away. All right, this is Rod Tillman. I'm out.